talking more about our heritage and learning about how we ended up where we are today. So, for example, I have Irish heritage, which can be directly traced back to the potato famine. Well, maybe I'll tell you the story another day. Well, actually, what would you prefer? It's history anyway. Okay then, the story it is. So, for some good background details, good build up to the main event. Since the 1500s, the English had been, controversially occupying Ireland, despite major cultural and religious tensions and Irish protest. And in 1800 to 1801, the English government passed the 1800s Act of Union, which pretty much took away all of Ireland's sovereignty. So, since the English were mainly Protestants who really disliked Catholicism, they passed the penal laws, which discriminated against any Catholic Irish person, so pretty much every Irish person. These laws, specifically the Land Act, forced all Irish farmers to divide up their land equally between all their sons, unless they only had daughters, and they would divide it between their daughters then. So, after some time, all Irish farmers had tiny plots of land. And all the Irish farmers turned to a single crop that was very good for farming on tiny plots of land, the potato. And it was also filling and easy to cook, so everyone grew the same type of easy-to-grow potato. However, in 1847, a potato blight was introduced to Ireland, and all the farmers were left without food because they all grew the same type of potato, and they were all easily wiped out. So, in 1847, at the height of the famine, the Society of Friends, or as you would know them better, Quakers living in Ireland, decided to set up soup kitchens to feed the Irish people. And the English government, who you remember was governing Ireland at this time, decided to follow in their tracks and also set up soup kitchens to feed the people. And these kitchens were a massive success, feeding roughly 3 million people. But then, and this is the main event, just as there was some hope for these poor, starving Irish farmers, I will continue to consider relief efforts in Ireland. Signed, Sir Charles Edwards Trevelyan, Assistant Secretary to the Treasury. Well, I'm certainly not blind. I can see what's happening in Ireland right now. The people are becoming too dependent on the English government. And we certainly don't want that. I know that the soup kitchens are a rough and ready mode of preserving life right now during the famine, but they will never be a good long-term solution. And I've heard that the widows go the round of the charities, getting a soup or dinner ticket there, a bread or grocery ticket there, and their children are thus trained, as if in school, to replenish the ranks of pauperism. It really cannot continue. So, in order to get the people to depend not on the English government, we will discontinue the soup kitchens altogether. That will help the Irish people get jobs instead. We will offer them jobs. That's a good idea. This famine was clearly sent from God, and offering them jobs in industry will surely help them to buy more food. We do not want them to depend on our government too much, so this is the only way. The only way. Why would they take away our kitchens? We depended on those for food. 3 million of us needed that. The government, they don't understand that they can offer us as many jobs as they want, but there's no food to buy here. Why should we work ourselves further into starvation? We're starving, we're freezing, we're catching fevers and typhus living alongside the road. And the government, they're our neighbors, our only government. We have a right to life, a right to be fed. And the government has the responsibility to care for us when we can't care for ourselves. And what do our neighbors say about it? Well, I heard that Sir Charles Trevelyan has decided to take away all government-run soup kitchens in Ireland. I do believe, of course, that that was the right course of action. It shouldn't be our responsibility to feed them, and we certainly don't want them getting too used to handouts. Obviously, this is wrath from God because of their Catholicism. I also heard that the Ottomans and the Indians in America are trying to feed them, which I disagree with. They don't have to govern the Irish. They don't understand our responsibilities. Honestly. I have also heard that many are trying to leave Ireland and are traveling to America, a land of plentiful jobs. Ireland is losing its population fast to these ships sailing to North America. And to think that many are refusing work from the government. That is the epitome of laziness, and I bet the public houses sure have a lot to do with that. I'm glad our government is focusing more on our people now, rather than the careless Irish that aren't our own. Oh, America, what work will await me there? I can only imagine what glories of industry await. Goodbye, sweet Ireland, and hello to a land of opportunity. After weeks on the ocean, oh, I'm finally here. Help wanted. An expanding railroad. I can earn enough money to send some home for my family. I'm working really hard here in America, and I have found a job working to build railroads that will eventually build up America herself. At least, that's what I believe. Maybe I just say that to ease the hardships of this work. Unfortunately, there's no place for the filthy railroad workers among the rich, or even the middle class here. But people say that because we like to drink in our free time, all Irish immigrants must be dangerous, lazy drunks who do more bad for America than good. Many put up posters to keep us from working with them. I have a family to feed just like everybody else does here. I know I'm not from here, but I deserve more rights than that, don't I? I see them throwing out newspapers all the time, all sorts of cartoons. Some are kind and welcome Irish immigrants with open arms, but others turn us away. They show us as cruel beasts. But it's not all bad. Some people do seem to appreciate what we're doing here, and they do seem to believe that immigrants like me deserve a spot in society on this side of the Atlantic. Still, I can't help but wonder, what's so wrong with enjoying a little drink in our free time? And even more so, what's wrong with being Catholic? People here really dislike Catholicism. There's no legal barriers, so it's definitely not as bad as in Ireland, but I can still see the disapproval here. The work is hard and dangerous. I'm lucky not to be stuck mining coal, though working the railroads isn't much better. Well, I need to rest for the long days ahead. I hope this money will feed all of you for a long time. Yes, sir, I'm coming. What we're doing here matters. I know it does. They'll see one day. I know they will. And so, the Irish struggled really hard in America. They faced so much racism from people like the Know Nothing Party or the nativists. But their struggle was not in vain. Even today, 180 years later, we can still see the lasting impact of the Irish immigrants. They built our railroads, and we expanded west because of them. They were really struggling in America. They were very exposed to racism, and it was a horrible struggle for them. But they persevered through it all. And now today, 31.5 million US citizens claim Irish heritage. That's 9.4% of us. So, now, though they have been struggling in the past, we are a country that have fulfilled their rights and taken responsibility for our mistakes and have fulfilled their rights to their children, grandchildren, and beyond. Thank you.